papers of printing, and that's available in an area like that. There are also various printing locations across campus, one in Newell Hall, there's a few in the libraries, sometimes even in residential areas. So you have the opportunity to print papers anywhere on campus essentially. The basement was one of my favorite spots freshman year, like always going there and studying and hanging out down there was really, really cool. So the ground level, which is this level that's on, I would say, our eye level, there is a full service Wells Fargo bank on this level. It's actually like around the corner if you get the opportunity to look at it later. Wells Fargo is the official bank of the university. However, you do not have to bank with Wells Fargo to be a student here. I personally bank at Chase. I go right across the street. I handle my business and I come right back on campus. Real easy, right? The ground level also has a student government funded bike repair shop, which is like right behind that brick wall. So if bikes are your mode of transportation while being a student here, if something were to happen, the brakes were to be messed up, tire were to pop, whatever, you can take it right onto that building and they can handle that for you. The ground floor also has a barber shop if you're looking for a haircut. But also we have a full game room with foosball tables, pool tables, bowling alleys. All those amenities and benefits are available for you as a student just to enjoy and take a step away from your academics.
Being here, I've probably been to like 4 games, so I haven't had much experiences. But each time I've ever went, or when I did stay pretty close, like my dorm was right there, I deeply regretted not going. It gets really deep in the swamp, and apart from that, there's a lot of yelling going on. So you can imagine, I didn't get much work done. So might as well I had went. But yeah, it's always a great time in the swamp. If it's up to 96,000 people, it's really funny because when we started our freshman year, we were saying it was 89,000, but to see that size expand, it means that we do a really great job of all squeezing into the swamp. But yeah, so apart from that, since football is so popular, it's the only game that you'll have to pay $25 for, and we have like a Gator app for that. What I really love about that app is that apart from like just seeing when football games are going on, you can also see all the other sports events, the schedule, so you know like when that's happening. I really like that because I'm a huge gymnastics fan, so that's happening in spring and I can, see when that's going to take place. Also, that app tells you the time, so you can see like, hey, I'm not really doing nothing right now, let's go to a basketball game. So the app is used for getting your tickets and also just checking to see when stuff is happening around for the games. Apart from that, a lot of students do get like season passes as well. It's a really great investment. Even if you don't go to the game, I've learned that you can really make your money back way more than you even paid for the home games. So I really, like to publicly say, like, maybe you should get it. Like,
you should. You definitely should. I did that and I made a lot of money off of that. So yeah. The other gym on campus is Southwest Rec, which is huge. Like in comparison to this building, it is literally humongous. They have sand volleyball courts outside. There's like 10 basketball courts, indoor tracks. Like it's literally so big. It's a little bit further off campus. I would say near the baseball stadium that we talked about a little bit earlier. They're like right across the street from there. But it's nothing to hop on a bus. So bus 20 literally runs and has a stop right outside the gym. So it's definitely not a walk, but it's definitely a really good bus ride to go on out there and just like experience everything that the gym has. Participating and just like using the gyms is included in your tuition. So as a student, you just got to scan your ID and you can walk in there and do any and everything that you want. There are hip hop fitness classes and Zumba classes, cycling classes, kickboxing. There's a whole lot of fitness classes that are available through these gym services. So I definitely recommend everyone take advantage of it. I know I haven't. Have you?
I have.
Okay.
I
So
haven't this year though.
But you better than me. But yeah. So that's kind of it as far as fitness. The two gyms. As far as function, the building on the other side of this building was the old infirmary. It's not the infirmary or student healthcare center anymore. They just opened a new one that's down the road past the stadium, so it's not as centrally located, but it is available for you on campus to use. As a UF student, it is mandatory for everyone to have insurance, but if you don't have your own, you can opt into the ones that the university offers for a fee. But if you have your own, remember to submit proof of it because they will charge you. And they will charge you because I've almost gotten charged $1,700 and I was not going to do that. I was not going to do that. So. Residence hall, but it used to be like chem labs. So a lot of these rooms have like a sink in them. It was really, really cool. Another fun fact I like to tell people is if you were to take a drone and like fly it straight up in the air, these buildings make a U and an F. So we're cute, we're cute.
I know. This is one of my favorite areas. Like I'm gonna say graduation picture. I think, I have to. But yeah, so we're gonna start talking about housing first and how that process works. So when you first, you get your acceptance letter and you're like, okay, I want to commit here. We do urge students to submit a deposit of $20. I think it's $20 to $25. Times have changed, so maybe the prices too. But it's around there, and that will hold your spot in line. Also, with that being said, if you want to room with a specific person, that'll also hold their spot in line with you as well. I urge that one of you all not be procrastinators, or at least just one, if that makes sense, so you can at least be up there. I know for my best friend and I, she was a procrastinator, not me, and I helped her, so yeah, that's just kind of how it works. I know students often ask if my preference is for a specific place, will I get it? So you have 3 choices from 1 to 3 of what you most want to be placed in, what housing, and then to your least, I guess. Oftentimes students at least get 1 out of their options. I know freshman year for me, I got my first choice, and sometimes, sometimes you really get lucky. You will get your first choice, but I promise you, you'll at least get 1. The type of housing styles that we have, right now we're in traditional, so that means that you have a bathroom, a communal style bathroom on each floor. You have a communal kitchen, so you share the kitchen with the rest of the floor, and then also your room. You can either have a single or share it with someone. So the room spaces is kind of the same in all of the settings. So that even means for apartment style and suite style, you can either be in a single or you can share it with someone. A lot of students bike. Also, we have e-scooters now. That's popular. So students will scoot around, especially if they live off campus, but really close. They also take the e-scooter. And then parking. I know with cars, that's a major question. Well, parking with cars isn't totally bad, depending.
You don't gotta lie, it's not cute. It's not cute.
No, it's not. Well, what I mean by that is that you'll have a space to park your car. It just might not be in front of your dorm. So a lot of what I did, because I actually lived here sophomore year, I parked my car in lot 5 that you're talking about, or garage. And I didn't, see it till the weekend. But as we mentioned, this is a bike-friendly campus, and also it's a walkable campus. It's designed to be, walkable. So you're not gonna find much places to park it exactly where you want to, but there will be a place to have it, if that makes sense. And students can have their car from the first year. I really will say though, having a car isn't bad, because I know I know some people are no, I won't bring it, but on weekends it's a great you know, thing to have so you can like drive around.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Those will be like behind the desk and you pick it up. And then as Mila mentioned earlier, we do have like printers and residential. So if you're like on the go, you don't have time, you can just like stop here and print.
You got to pay for those. Though.
Yeah, you do have to pay for those though. And then you'll get that charge on your account. And then there you have washing and dryer machine. So this is where you'll come to like do your laundry. This was like one of my first, well, it wasn't in here, but it was in the laundry room. My first time doing laundry, y'all, like in college. I was in there stuck asking people.
Oh my God.
So it's one of, you know, it's really going to be life moments in the coming areas. Just give you a taste of like academic life and how that works. We're not, you know, of course, like pre-med students, so we weren't taking like Intro to Chemistry 101 like our first year, but I did have like an introductory course. So when you do first come to campus, you will be taking a lot of your general education requirement credits, as well as like a lot of intro courses as well. So I was taking Introduction to Philosophy, and the way how that worked for me, I met with that class about 3 times for the week, which typically that's how any like intro class will go. So I met on Monday and Wednesday, and I had like a lecture style class. So we weren't talking, having like a discussion class with the professor. It was only like the professor talking about the material for the day. And then on Friday, that's when I have my discussion section. So in like your full class size on Monday and Wednesday, that's when about you'll have like 200 of your best buddies, you know, are sitting in the class trying to be like, okay, am I really grasping the material? Do I understand? Do I not? Like, and then on Friday, that is your opportunity to ask any questions you may have to the teaching assistant. So the teaching assistant is the person who has like I believe a graduate level most of the time in the course that you're learning, and they, you know, had to pass the class with like an A or a high grade to be a teaching assistant. So they'll understand the course material really well, and that's your perfect opportunity to ask any questions, because you're only going to be in there with about like 30 people. So Most of the time you feel more comfortable. I know I did. So that's when I was asking a lot of the questions. And also in your discussion section, you'll probably assign like group projects and stuff to further, understand what's going on. I will say that class, maybe because like it was around COVID, so my attention span was like low. With having 4 classes, just keeping online. But I was going to office hours because I was like, I really did not want to mess up on the essay requirement that was asked. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go to office hours. If you're going to office hours, that's when I actually learned a lot more about my teaching as the TA at the time. Like, we were not only talking about the class, but actually like about what I want to do in the future, what they do, how they got into being a TA. So that's also why we stress like go to like office hours, because you get to learn about your teaching assistant and they also learn about you. And guess what? Whenever it came down to me having like email a question, I got a response really quickly, back, and that just goes to show like when you make the effort, then you'll definitely get the effort put in back to you with like getting help first than other students. And even like if you just may need a letter of recommendation, they know you, so they're gonna be more likely to respond and accept that offer that you give them.
But this tall, beautiful, wonderful structure behind me is Century Tower. A Century Tower is a historic UF landmark. It's a 61 Bell Carillon. Fun fact about this building is that it was originally built to be an art museum, but they realized that nobody wanted to walk up 11 and a half flights of stairs to look at art. So they put the bell in it and made it what it is today. It was built as a memorial to World War I and World War II veterans who are UF students. So it's a really, really cool thing. One thing that's cool is that students can take a special course in the School of Music, which is actually right here, School of Music, to walk all the way up all those flights of stairs and to play whatever song they like. So I know walking the campus, I've heard Beyonce, I've heard Harry Potter, I've heard Christmas music, I've heard anything. What was it?
Oh, Bodak Yellow. That's what I was trying to remember. I always say that. Yeah.
You heard Cardi B? Okay, that's cool too. And then the tower lights up colors. Let's say when we win football games, orange and blue. Christmas time, red and green. Hanukkah time, blue and white. Like, it's just a really like festive and a really like, what's the word?
Fun area.
Fun, yeah, fun. Like this is, I was really so secure. Like this is like the fun area on campus. Like a lot of stuff happens in this area. It's really like centrally located. Like it's one of my favorite spaces to be around. The tower chimes every 15 minutes, tolls on the hour, and plays the Concert of the Bells at 12:35 and 4:55 p.m. And like I said, the Concert of the Bells is when the student goes up and, goes ham on that carillon.
Right.
But yeah, so this building here on my left, your right, is the University Auditorium. Home for student performances and guest speakers. One thing that's really cool is earlier in the semester, I participated in a pageant in the University Auditorium, which is cute. I had fun. A lot of times we've performed in here. We've had shows like the Black Student Assembly happens here. The Florida Invitational Step Show happened last year here too. And then there is a cabinet within student government called Accents, where they invite like celebrity or like high esteem notoriety people to come and speak to the university. Recently we've had Rainn Wilson from The Office. In the past we've had Maya Angelou, Shaquille O'Neal, Bill Nye the Science Guy. Anybody else came here? Josh Peck from Jake and Josh. So a lot of like celebrities come here just to talk to students, just to put on their show and lend their knowledge to everyone that's here on campus. Despite its Gothic architecture, the university has no religious affiliation. It's just a really pretty, really nice building to look at. One thing that's really cool I like to point out is like on the side, the architecture of the building slightly changes because the Great Depression happened when they were building it. So yeah, it's another really cool and cute thing to point out. Being one of the 2 green zones, this is the north lawn. The other green zone, it's not really green right now. We're gonna call it beautification that's occurring right there. So beautification is happening on the north lawn, but yes, that is typically the other green zone on campus, one of the 2 spaces that the university vows not to build upon. So yeah, this stop, it's a lot, so I'm just gonna take y'all in a little circle like this. So the building that we just came out of is Marston Science Library. It is our main science library here on campus. I know we said there's a debate, and this is my spot right here. I love Marston, but you don't have to be a science-ish major to study there. I have never taken a science class ever in college, and I'm always here just because it's very centrally located. And it's one of our 7 main libraries here on campus, Library West being the other one. We have a law library, a health science library, there's George Smathers Library. I know nobody really talks about that, right?
Library East.
Yeah, it's Library East. It's right next to Library West. But yeah, it's one of our 7 main libraries here on campus. It operates on an elevated volume system, so the higher you go up, the quieter it gets. So I don't know if y'all seen the sign. It said like 4th and 5th floors are silent. Like if you move your chair too loud, people will look at you crazy.
Like someone made a joke, if you drop a goldfish, he'll be the only thing smiling back at you. Like,
okay. But yeah, that's what the library kind of is. There's a Starbucks in this library, so the library is 24/7. Starbucks is going to be available late at night too, which is really, really cool. So this building adjacent to Marston Science Library is the Computer Science and Engineering building, one of our 5 main academic technology labs here on campus. The UF policy is that you don't have to own a laptop, you just have to have access to one. So that's where a building like this comes in handy. If you were to break your laptop or break your iPad or something were to happen, you have the opportunity to go to one of these buildings and they can loan you one. Like I know a lot of people who spilled water on their laptops.
No, I was down bad for like 3 weeks. It was right before spring break. I was like, I'm not paying for one.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, so if you need a lender or a loaner or whatever,
right.
You could go to a building like this and they can help you out. AI or artificial intelligence is something that the university is like developing a lot more. I know there's a 3D printer in there.
Yes.
Yeah, 3D printers in there. But we have a new data science building, which is actually across the street from the Welcome Center. You could probably see it when we go back like through the Welcome Center, but it's a really, really nice big building. It's called Malachowski.
I have no idea.
Somebody that gave a lot of money to the school. But the building is named after him. And it's our new data science building. Like I can't wait to actually go in there and study like one day. But university is really good and really big on technology, artificial intelligence, data science, computer science, things like that. We are a research institution, so obviously a lot of money is going to go towards developing all those initiatives. So we're going to take it this way. So this building right here is the back of the hub. I know we pointed out the front of the hub a little bit earlier, which is like the main bus stop where all the buses run through. But the hub is also home to a 24/7 UFIT help desk. So if you were to encounter issues with your Wi-Fi or Canvas or connection or whatever, you could just literally pick up the phone and call them, and they're able to help you whenever you need that help. It's also home to the UF International Center. So if you're interested in studying abroad, there are programs that are available for you within that building. You can study abroad regardless of what your major is. And one thing that's really cool is since we're a public university, you have the opportunity to study abroad with other schools. So for example, if Florida State is having a program, we don't really like them, but if they're having a program that you want to participate in and study abroad with, you have the opportunity to do that with them, which is really, really cool. Like, I definitely recommend any and everybody study abroad if possible.
And I also like to stress, like, it's not only for like studying abroad, but if you are like an international student too, it will help you to get acclimated with campus as well.
A lot, yeah. It's a really, really helpful space for students, like all students, and especially international students too. Wi-Fi is available all across campus. I know we talked about connection and stuff, but Wi-Fi is literally available everywhere, like everywhere. All you have to do is log in like with your student information, and you have the access to all Wi-Fi and connectivity that comes with being a student. And yeah, as far as like technology and connection, like a computer science and engineering building or even like the IT desk is helpful, especially when it comes to you being, for example, like a journalism student, and you have to have access to like Adobe Suite and all the other applications that come with that. Instead of paying for it, if you're in a building like this or connected to the UF VPN or UF Wi-Fi, you have the opportunity to use that. Like, I know I took a statistics class last semester, and when I was home I wasn't able to use the database, but when I was here it was able to work. So really, really cool. Allows you to be helpful and to be successful in all your classes that you have to take. And wave goodbye to me and Shakira. And then stretch and reach your left hand out, and oh my gosh, look, Gator Talk.
How did we get here?
So on 3, give us a go Gators. 1, 2, 3.
Go Gators. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you. So we're gonna